different vehicles, and obviously the different grades of teachings. And he taught the Dharma of one reality. Ultimately, there's one great white ox cart. So in this master explanation, so all sentient beings are equal from the perspective that all of them are Buddha nature. But the problem is, it depends on how hindered one is by ignorance. And ignorance doesn't mean that person doesn't know anything. Hindrance can also apply, but some people too know everything. Or the one person who thinks he knows everything. So obviously then the story of Brahma Charing, which you'll understand. So one must not be arrogant in the possession of knowledge. And then this is what it is. And the clever ones are hindered by the possession of knowledge. And because unless one apply the Dharma and subdue the mind, the ego will always be at play. And then so the Buddha gave the wondrous professional teaching. Wondrous means all the principles of the Buddha thought contain the true Dharma, and that's what wondrous means. Is the true Dharma. So wondrous existence is the truth of the existence So even the teachings of the human vehicle contains subtle wondrous principles. You remember the lowest of the order vehicles, right? A human vehicle. That means that when you take on the 5 precepts, you will not go down to the 3 evil realms. To practice the Bodhisattva way, in addition to doing good deeds, you must cultivate wisdom, and this wisdom comes from interacting with people. So in this particular verse, what's the whole essence of today's teaching is? It says that if you child a great cart, the carts were tall and broad. Tall and broad means analogy for essence, appearance, and function. And this is a long explanation in here. Extending through the 3 periods of time, the past, present, and the future, right? The way through the 10 directions, the 8 directions, north, south, east, west, north, south, northwest, and so on, and top and the bottom, so the 10 directions. Well, essence is true suchness, which is the thought and broad, meaning the essence, appearance, and function. So essence is a true suchness, replete with wisdom, compassion, and so on. And that is the truth of the Dhamma. But appearance is one of infinite merits and virtues. So therefore, the essence and appearance are unfixed. So we act in response to condition to manifest our function. So you remember that in the past teachings, we live in the world, and obviously different conditions manifest upon us, and this light becomes that come upon to us. So when we do not learn, we learn not to react. So therefore, we learn to respond. So this is a part of response with the true such a response with the Dharma. Okay, and then the appearance is one of infinite merits and virtues, and that is the manifestation and application as well of those virtues of the teachings. And then the wisdom of all Dharma, we initiate myriad of actions, giving rise to myriad virtues, and obviously that is therefore the virtues are infinite. So therefore we cultivate them all. So this is what I mean by decorated with all kinds of treasures, decorated with all kinds of treasures. Then surrounded by railings, meaning enclosed on all sides. So surrounded by railings. So this is the part that I'll give very briefly, but it is a bit of long explanation in here, but essentially, when we practice, inevitably you will encounter different people. You will also encounter different beings, okay? And this is taking the spiritual path. And so this, even if evil outside cannot enter, and this is what the railings is about. So when you cultivate the path, you are being so-called protected, okay? So long as you stay under the path. And then the good insight will not be lost. So these are the virtues. There's no deviation of your virtues. Now, then the other part is hung with bells, which is the main thing, which I'll come to later, next slide, and carry many people, obviously, for us to walk the path amongst the masses. So hung with bells, the bells and all sides are analogy of all kinds of unobstructed eloquence. So so bells are analogy for arousing teaching, right? Because they ring the bell. So even you, this is the Mahayana temples. If you, when you enter, there's a drum and there's a bell. 左鼓右gong. Okay. So and left is a drum and right there is a bell, and this is a tradition has always been. So the first is unobstructed Dharma. Unobstructed Dharma is that we must contain the truth of the Dharma. So, which is what the essence, that's how we mentioned by essence, appearance, and the function. So, this truth of the Dharma is that we must understand all kinds of Dharma. So, we must understand all kinds of Dharma. So, that's also aligned to the third of your bodhisattva vows, isn't it? Because you want to vow to enter all Dharma doors. So, you've got to understand all kinds of Dharma, so that we can find a way to influence others and teach the principles of being a good person. Secondly, unobstructed meaning. What we say, we must be complete understanding of the Dharma. So this is the part that some time ago I shared with you about knowing the Dharma, understanding the Dharma, realizing the Dharma. And this is what it is. So the Dharma must be realized. That means it must go beyond understanding of the mind. And third is the unobstructed language, where the words are understood clearly. Now, why must these words must be understood clearly? Is because words cannot describe the truth. Okay, it's easy for words to describe what the truth is not. So therefore, we need to go and understand the words expressed. It intrigue ourselves to be able to seek the understanding. And this is a reason why the writing of speech is beautifully composed. And then it inspires one to delve into the understanding of the truth. And the fourth is the unobstructed joy in speaking. That means we must share. I mean, if we don't, if we know the Dharma and we do not share, we're doing everyone a disservice. And what Master say? So the lessons learned from today is that we must make an effort to be mindful and to compassionately treat all as equals and adapt to the teaching capabilities, whether the capabilities are great or limited. You know, one of the greatest you like to say the challenge that I find about, my journey in understanding the Dharma is I encounter a lot of clever people who I find that it's very difficult to share the Dharma with them on what I know with them. So as a result of which, one who wants to seek the Dharma must be first of all, learn to be wise. And otherwise, their mind will be impeded. So therefore, we must have all kinds of wisdom. It's unobstructed Dharma, unobstructed meaning, unobstructed language, and unobstructed joy in speaking. Each truly must listen to many teachings, enter all Dharma doors, and take them in so that we're able to transmit the Dharma to whomever we encounter. So, but then I say, I tend not to share my Dharma, not because I'm holding on to myself, but more so because I only do so when I'm asked to do. Okay, otherwise normally I will keep quiet. So we must explain teachings clearly. We must seek deeper methods object in a harmonious manner, because sometimes when you explain to others who are very clever, you don't land up in a very harmonious manner. And that's one of the main reason why I usually keep quiet. And you don't have to follow what I do, but this is some of the experiences that I have. So then we may have such wonderful principles, such wonderful language, and then with other abundance of Dharma, we can share them joyfully. So, in contemplation, the clever thinks the wise one is stupid. And you know why? Because you see, the clever ones live in very worldly ways. So the wise one, for example, Why does the wise one who has very little, and for example, Sister Carmen said, who donate everything? So the clever thinks the wise one is stupid. And there are so many examples that one can give about the wise compared to the clever ones. But the stupid one thinks the wise one is smart. But that is so because he knows that the wise one knows more than he does, but he doesn't know whether there is wisdom or being clever. Okay, so it is being smart. But the wise one knows that the clever one is impeded by possession of knowledge, and the stupid one is impeded by the Tao mind. So both minds are impeded. So between the clever one and the stupid one, then what then is the difference between the two? So in relationship, the greater the obstacle, the greater is the learning and growth. So we must understand that. So sometimes in a relationship that we come across, we face great obstacles, and we all do. Maybe especially for us as householders, and we our relationship in the work, in family, in friends, and so on and so forth. But the greater the obstacle, the greater is learning and growth. But the blossom that endures the toughest of conditions bear the sweetest of fruits. Okay, thank you, brother and sister.
Thank you so much, Brother Chin, for your wonderful treasures. I think I decided I don't want to be smart, I don't want to be stupid, I want to come in between so that I won't fall into the trap. Okay, can we take a group photo or all of us? Yes. Don't be stupid, don't be smart. I think come in between. And then you will not fall into this trap.
Be a plant.
The chin, yes.
Be a plant. Just be a plant.
Yeah.
Be a tree.
Yes. Everyone please on the video.
Say words,
Yeah.
Unimpeded. Unimpeded what? All encompassing wisdom.
You know, in one of Buddha's
wisdom of
past
all dharmas.
In one of Buddha's past life, he was actually a tree spirit.
Oh yeah. See?
Okay.
Oh yeah.
You remember the story? Yeah.
No, I believe so. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Oh, wonderful.
Thank you so much.
So much.
Thank you.
Brother Chin.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Bring along your ox cart when you go and do your qigong.
And all the bells, okay? All the bells.
Yeah, all the bells and all the treasures. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, next, can we have Brother Tzu Wei to continue with our sharing?
Gan En, Brother Robert. Morning, brothers and sisters.
Morning.
The words I like today is 人做的成，佛就能成. So it's a reminder to be good person. Also a reminder that I'm very small and limited. In Master words, 渺小. Yet the self, the ego is so big. There is opportunity to learn, but there is still opportunity to learn every minute, every second, and to accumulate it. Very brief from me today. Gan En for listening.
Yeah, thank you so much, Brother Tzu Wei, for sharing. Yeah. Okay, next, can we have Sister YY to share insight? Sister YY. Morning.
Brother Robert, morning.
Morning.
Thank you so much, brothers and sisters, for the great sharing. Good morning. Yeah. So today, the three key points or key value or words that I pick up is compassion, love, and the spirit of equality. It is so powerful. That's why Buddha has been doing, what he aspired to help, encompassing all living beings in the whole universe. And we have learned previously with compassion, we can actually harmonize all things in the world. That's so powerful. And today, on the attitude of being humble, like what Master mentioned, the Dharma is so abundant, so much for us to learn. And, the man holding the torch, actually, Master mentioned, the Dharma that Master expounding is actually the leaf that she's been holding in the hand only, can there's so much actually bountiful in the forest. So really remind us, and me myself, yeah, this is actually the attitude that we must have. And I am so grateful for this forum, indeed, that I actually giving me the opportunity to learn from all brothers and sisters here. Okay, and the other point is, Master mentioned learning must always start with ourselves. Yeah, everything start with us. And of course, the family, you know, the fundamental duty, looking back, luckily, I'm still doing my part before expanding it out, you know, to help others or protect others. And when coming, come to this giving, yeah, not only material things, like giving of Dharma, maybe sometimes it's just the presence of someone that gives us the comfort. It's so true. Like in my workplace, for example, that there's somebody that I'm always looking forward, looking upon, or you know, for their presence, for their advice. They are like secure base to me. You know, whenever I face any challenges, there's someone that, you know, I will refer to for advice and encouragement, guidance. Of course, luckily my boss is one of them. All right, and today here about the virtue and attainment actually comes hand in hand. You know, that's a Ye. So this virtue, wow, today Master mentioned 万行成就one, the yeah, myriad of actions, right? That we give rise to these myriads of virtues. Even though we myriad one thing is so bountiful, so never mind, we start with our micro action, what we can do. Okay, and hopefully, oh, there's so much to learn about the 4 kinds of unobstructed eloquence. Today I see it more clearly, you know, about the Dharma, one aspect of Dharma, the meaning, the rhetoric, yeah, and what joy in speaking. So much to learn. Gan En very much. This is my sharing.
Yeah, Gan En so much, Sister YY, for your wonderful sharing. Always. Okay, next, can we have maybe Sister Irene to share a few words? Sister Irene, good morning.
Good morning, Brother Robert and brothers and sisters. Yeah, thank you for all the sharing. But I feel just like when we want to give, we must ask ourselves, I felt this is my own personal thinking. Are we giving with wisdom, or what are we giving with the intention to show off, for face, and do we see clearly? So it's very sad to see ignorant people seeking of things is different. And to me, it's just suddenly the thought of the string that tie the fish. When you mix with wrong thing, thereby you are so-called infected by it. So one have to see clearly, you know, and it's sad outside there. So many. I shouldn't say, maybe it's too ego. It's like so many people out there. Maybe they don't have the chance to encounter Dharma, or they refuse to take in the Dharma because they still have this mindset. I come to this world, I have money, I enjoy, I want to treat myself all the pleasure, and they have this kind of thinking like, die already, is you don't know anything, but they're very ignorant. So it's very sad. We just can do what we can to slowly, hopefully if got the chance, then we can show these people. But if we don't have the chance, then we just have to be very understanding of them. Yeah, Gan En, thank you.
Yeah, Sister Irene, yeah, sharing. Okay, next, can we have Sister Stephanie share your insight? Morning.
Hey, Gan En everybody. Good morning, brothers and sisters. Yeah, truly today, the ox cut itself, I think Master gave a very thorough explanation of the ox cut, whether it's in physical, visually, the sound that it makes. So this describes how great this one vehicle Dharma is, yeah. And the railings itself, I find is very meaningful. The railing to me is like the railing that surrounds it. Truly is the faith. You must have faith. The railings cannot be seen, yeah. But if you have faith in these railings, you will stay very firm outside. You know, outside anything that happens outside or deviating. What do you call that? Teachings of any fear. You know, if you have any fear of the unknown, but you have faith in this railing that surrounds this ox cut that you are in, that you have climbed on top of, then you should not fear. Yeah, I have deep faith in this invisible railings. I think that's so very important because it does have the, it does protect you. It does keep you firm on the path and keeps you from unnecessary worries. Okay, that's because while we are on this path, we are still living amongst human beings. We are still, like Brother Chin always say, we are still householders. We still have karmic responsibilities that come and find us, right? Therefore, to have faith in this ox cut, yeah, is very, very important. And I particularly like what I echo with Sister Sister YY. 万行成就万德 is really true. It's not 万知 it's not 万知成就万德. It's not what you know that gain you the virtues, it's what you do. It's the actions that we put in. Therefore, this is the path of diligence, as Master always say, and the path that must be walked in the masses. So therefore, from there you will gain the wisdom of all dharmas, and once you gain that, you can, you know, sound out like the bells on all four sides, and you will have the unobstructed or unhindered understanding, rhetoric, and therefore joy. And I contrast with Brother Chin. He says he will only speak when asked to. Well, I find that very difficult. I think we speak too much sometimes. But I think in the passage today, Master say, must keep saying, yeah. Master did say, must say. If we know and we don't say, we are doing a disservice. So so he is the wise old man on top of the mountain. And while we have to walk the mountain before we can seek him. So for us, we are just the guide at the side of the mountain, along the mountain. So we will keep guiding the people to the man on top of the mountain. Gan En.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Yeah, yes, that's definitely, yes, indeed. The joyful listening, the joyful sharing. I think it's most important. So much. Okay, next, can we maybe hear a few words from Sister Trimun? Morning, Sister Trimun.
Good morning, brothers and sisters.
Morning.
Sister Stephanie, this morning you're very, very happy, huh?
Yeah, I miss you all. I miss you. Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't come up to the mountain yesterday. I didn't see the man on the mountain, so I'm very happy today.
Very good, lah. You set the mood and tone for all of us today.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Well, today I think what strikes me about Master's talk is that we should not be arrogant and think that, you know, what little we know is a lot. Actually, a little knowledge is very dangerous. It applies across to everything, I find, not just the knowledge of Dharma, knowledge about science, knowledge about everyday things. And if we have too little of that knowledge, and if we try to make decisions or form opinions based on that, you know, ignorantly thinking that you know a lot, then it can actually do a lot of harm. you know, even from the university days, we can see that. I remember when we went in, oh, we think we are so clever, you know. And then when you meet the professors who are, you know, who are so clever, they never think they're clever. They are so humble and they are so nice. And then it makes you realize, oh my goodness, you know, and when you come out into the world, you actually know so little. You know, on the subject, for example, I study chemistry. I know nothing compared to the professor, you know, but when we went in, we thought we are so clever. So it's really a very humbling experience when you meet. So it's necessary also to meet with people who know a lot, because from there, it brings you down to earth and it caps you from being too arrogant. So this is something that we actually have to constantly, I think, defend our mind against being too arrogant and thinking that we know everything. If we can overcome that, then we accept that the entire process of our life, every day until the end of the day, when we die, we are learning new things. So we don't know anything actually. Yeah. So with that, the mind is open to receive. So this is my experience throughout my journey to life up to now. And I think that it is very important. You know, I see in my everyday dealings with government servants, for example, they know so little and yet think that they know everything, and they make all the wrong policies. It's a sad thing, but it's the reality today. And I think in schools, we should actually try to change this mindset. And then the other thing that I feel very strongly with today is the sentence that we need to feel a sense of abundance before we can give others, and that I think is true. So we have to really take in the 4 kinds of wisdom, all the things, and we must feel really at ease ourselves. I think, yeah, before we have, if we don't have this sense of abundance, it is very, very hard to share with others, because what is there to share? What have we got to give if we have got none ourselves? So yeah, so I think we must really take care to cultivate well ourselves, so that we feel happy, we feel that we are strong enough in our mind to protect ourselves, and not to be easily swayed by whatever we meet outside. And then I think only it is safe to share with others. Gan En.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Cheng Yen, for the very important and good reminder how to manage our mind. Yes, everything I think comes from our mind. Yeah, we need to control it. We need to manage it. I think the best way is to use Dharma. Thank you so much. Okay, next, can we hear a few words from maybe Sister Wai Fong? Good morning and welcome, Sister Wai Fong, to our platform. Sister Wai Fong, are you able to share a few words? Sister Li Wai Fong.
Yes.
Hi, morning.
Good morning. I was just about to type what I felt about the group people here, Yeah,
welcome.
Yeah, good. All of you are just an example of an unobstructed eloquence, who possess this unobstructed eloquence. What do you call this? Wisdoms. These 4 wisdoms. So when Master was talking about these 4 wisdoms, I was imagining one by one, each of you start to come across my mind. When Master was talking about unobstructed language, the beautiful language that is being constructed and being prepared when you are giving a speech, or when you are sharing, I realized that how these people are managed, how these people manage to share in a meaningful way, in a way that could be understood by dull people like me, people with dull capacity. So I was saying, this is, I hope that one day I could reach this. I could walk around with the 4 bells ringing. So it's basically listening to Dhamma every day, to be able to understand and be able to to be able to realize and understand then only you'll be able to speak wonderfully. Yeah, that's all that I could say. Thank you to all of you who could be so eloquent. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Wai Fong, yeah, for your wonderful sharing, and of course for joining us. Continue to join us. I think all of us, I think we are still not awakened yet. I think that's why we need this platform. Please do come and join us as well. Yeah. Okay. Next, can we have maybe Brother Ang to share a few words? Morning, Brother Ang, able to share.
Hi, good morning, Brother Robert.
Morning.
Brothers and sisters. Yeah. I think what I learned today is the man with the this thing, the light, the fire is the arrogance, and also ego will lead us to our ignorance more, and we will fall deeper. I actually understand more now in the sense that the burning house, which is affliction, and also the three cards at the moment. So I think how Master put it as the white ox card is decorated very nice. Initially I thought, but actually it's translated to, it's full of Dharma in it, and it has so-called rails to protect us from going tangent. Yeah. Another thing is that I think I think Brother Chin needs to talk more. And he actually is in the sense that he actually how to say, dig up all the what is actually the behind meaning of the usually the master's half an hour talk. Yeah. Thank you to all also for your contribution. Thank you, Gan En.
Yeah, Gan En so much. Yeah, Brother Ang. Yeah, wonderful sharing. Okay, next, can we have Sister Tzu Chi to summarize a bit for us our morning, Sister Tzu Chi.
Brother Robert, 不敢当，其实是 actually I'm learning from all the wonderful teachers of.
You have unmuted, Sister.
Oh yeah, sorry, accidentally. Especially learn so much from masters and all the brothers, sisters. Sister Wai Fong is very humble. Actually, as she was sharing, she already have this sharing, ringing the bells along the four sides of the cards. Falu Sing, like what Master has mentioned, with wisdom of all Dharma, we initiate myriad actions. Myriad sections give rise to the myriad virtues. Indeed, it's the actions that we, as we go along in our daily life, using Master's teaching, unobstructed. Today we hear, today I also feel a lot of this unobstructed joy in speaking in all the sisters. I always enjoy listening to all these. 真的是很, the day when one is down, listening to this platform, truly it's like boost the spirit. Very, very grateful. And listening to this, I also resonate to this part, surrounded by railings, protect us, protect the people in the cart. No objects can hurt them. With these teachings, we understand. My limited understanding is it's really like what Brother Chin said. The objects being in the cart, we are not hurt by these objects, but we know from Master's teaching, the greater the obstacle, like what Brother Chin said, the greater is the learning and growth. It's just like the lotus flower, which Master always mentioned. The more mud it is, the more impurities, this flower will blossom more beautifully. So with that, we hope that each of us will be able to be like this lotus flower blooming in this a lot of impurities in this world and unobstructed. I just share a little bit. Last night, if Pusa, they are watching this 8 o'clock series, now they are replaying this series on the Lost Cheng Yen, the leprosy center in Taiwan. Very touching. I watched it already, I think many years ago they played, now they replaying it again. This is one of the Tai winning series. My daughter asked me, why Tai have this movie one? Because she always see movies like the people at the end become the Shi Xiong, Shi Jie, the Tzu Chi family. She said, why this leprosy center got stories displayed? Then I mean, very Gan En can use this story and explain to my daughter, and it's myself also refreshing. This, it's very important. All these character in these stories, 很感动. So you see, unobstructed is when we are able to, I think, feel the compassion, the four infinite minds of the compassion with take it into our heart, all these things, then we can share it unobstructed. My limited understanding is like that, how Gan En, may each of us be able to continue practicing the Dharma, stay steadfast daily, and join this platform. Gan En, back to you, Brother Rob.
Yeah, Gan En, thank you so much, Tzu Chi. Always wonderful to hear from Tzu Chi. Okay, we have come to the end of our today's sharing. Gan En, so much to all the great sharing from all our brothers and sisters. May we all carry this Dharma bell with us from our master.
Brother Robert, a
Guys,
request.
yeah.
Brother Robert, a request. Can all brothers and sisters on the video again?